So we've got 3 molds for this advent calendar piece and this mystery mold. One of them says 2581, one of them says 2580, and then there's another one that's been picked up by my shoe assistant that apparently matches all these. So let's pour them up. So if you guys didn't know already, if the number is a sequential number or a consecutive number, it usually means that the pieces are part of the same collection. Because what the mold makers used to do is they would make a series or a trendy thing. For example, they might have done like a fish collection. They put all the numbers together so that you can see how many are part of that collection and you can kind of order them in your studio in that way. Alrighty, let's pour these up.
Hello, my name is Shelby and I'm a potter. I found this bulk lot of slip casting molds and one by one I'm pouring them up to reveal whatever is inside and then finish it into an artwork. This is the Mystery Mold series, so let's see what's in today's episode.
Alright, it is time to open these 3 up, so let's see what's inside. I think I'm going to do the smallest one and then work my way through to the biggest one. Alright, this one has 2 holes here and then 2 smaller holes down the bottom. Oh wow, that is epic. This is the mold of my dreams right here. Oh my gosh, this is just so much nostalgia and it's bringing me back to my childhood instantly. It is a sun and moon charm. I think these little bits go on the bottom of each one. That looks like it goes on the bottom of the moon, and then this one looks like it goes on the bottom of the sun. This brings me back to my 90s bed sheets with the suns and the moons. It's got this beautiful bold blue and then it's got the beautiful yellow gold sun and moon on it. This is really cool. I've always wanted something sun and moon themed. I had to actually paint my own version of it on the teacup mold, so it's nice to have something of my own. And I think that these probably hang. I want to have a look whether it's double-sided because we've got a face on these sides, so I'm wondering whether it hangs and has a face on the other side as well. It does. It's got a face on both sides. I think I'm going to turn these into some hanging charms. And you know what? I'm going to feed into the sun and moon, or well, particularly the sun, and do some sun catcher dangles so that you can hang this up and have it sort of sparkle in your room. That would be so magical. And I know like the moon's not out. I guess the moon's always out, but you see the sun more. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to say that the moon comes out at night, and when it's out and you can see it the most, it is really dark. But I feel like the sun and moon catchers will still be so beautiful. I think they'll both work so nicely, and depending on what aesthetic you like better. Like I know some people like the sun more than the moon more than the sun, and they definitely hold a lot of symbolism for so many people. So I think I'm going to turn these into some really cool charms. Alright, let's open the smaller one and then we'll move to the bigger one and see what's inside of all of them. Wow! Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That is epic. I'm so happy. So we had the first one was the sun and the moon. This one is 3 moons, which is making me think that this one is 3 suns. So we have lots of beautiful sun catcher charms. I am so excited for these. I know that you all have your different aesthetics, but for me this is a dream find. Dream, get it? Because moon in your dream. But it is a dream find because of my own nostalgia and my own love for sun and moon pieces. Not even for pottery, but it makes it an extra bonus that it is for pottery. They're double-sided too. One thing I will say is I actually feel like that first mold I opened didn't need to be a 2-part piece. And what I mean by that is where you attach the piece to the bottom to complete the piece. This is fine on its own, and I feel like that piece would have been fine too, and it just sort of adds an extra worry in a way because you might have cracking or you might not have the join work. It might misshape the cast itself as you're attaching the piece. I feel like it could have been one piece in that one, so it is a bit of, I feel like it could be a bit of a flaw, but maybe for whatever reason they thought this needs to be an attachment, and that's totally fine. These ones looked more sleepy and kind of dopey looking, which I love because it's kind of like they're just chilling, like they're either sleeping because it's nighttime or they're lazing around in the sun. It has that kind of aesthetic, whereas this has more of a just general expression where it looks content, it looks happy, it doesn't look super sleepy, it just looks alert, and it's like, I'm here to do my job, which is really cool. It's so interesting to see how much the different faces impact the same theme. And I guess with that said, it plays into this idea of you can do the same theme as someone else as long as you change up the style and you put your own sense of character, whimsy and love into it. You can do whatever you like. And I think that that gets a little bit daunting for a lot of artists these days, is that they're worried that they're going to be copying and someone else has already done this whole theme and this whole subject matter. As long as you do it in your style and in your way, it can be so diversely different to your inspiration. So just take that away from today's video, I guess. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, these are really cool. I really like these. You know what's interesting is, in comparison to the moons, these suns have more of an aged face, which kind of looks like, because they've kind of got a bit of like a crow's feet thing happening here and a bit more of like a cheeky wrinkle, and I really like that. It's almost like it just is reminding me of my grandma or grandpa. It doesn't have a masculine or feminine look either, which I like. It's just a face, but it just feels old and it feels like it's happy, content with life. It has seen things, it has done things, it's very joyful. Like I'm getting so much from this sun. Just with little details like crow's feet near the eyes, it's just so nice to see. I really like it. This sun has just had a really content life, and that makes me feel very content and happy.
As always, here is a look at the molds in case you're hoping to hunt them down and add them to your own collection. They are wonderful and I'm so happy I have so many of them. I also didn't mention before, but I love that there's 3 of each design in each mold of those suns and moons. It just makes it so much easier to make so many more, because I'm definitely going to give this mold a workout. I love it so much. So I start by pulling them out and trimming off all the excess, and I'm going to attach those little additional pieces. As you see here, I just don't see the need. I don't know why that moon wasn't just like a solid piece. Like the sun kind of makes sense, maybe it was cracking, but otherwise I just feel like it could have just been a one-piece mold. Here is a comparison of the 2 sun faces and the 2 moon faces, and then I added my canther wire. So because I'm going to make these some really cool hanging charms, I've added some hoops at the top, hoops at the bottom to add some cool little charms at the bottom, and a few additionals here and there just to make them funky and fun. So the canther wire, if you did not know, is a heat resistant wire. It allows it to go through the kiln because other things may burn out, and I've never actually tried anything else and I don't actually know what would happen, but it would probably melt and not be a real good time. So for the actual suns and moon faces, I am keeping them rather simple because I want the charm to be the extravagant, amazing part, and I kind of want it to complement and be this holistic artwork rather than focusing all my energy on the actual suns and moons. So to do that, I'm actually splodging on some color and covering them with the sponge. This was actually just a really easy way to get a lot of coverage, but I also wanted it to have this model look, so like a grainy sort of texture, to be reminiscent of my bed sheets in the 90s. So once that one color was on, I added a darker color on top, and then it was time to add all the facial details. So I put in all the little eyes, and I actually didn't do the noses and the mouths. I just added eyes because I felt like they were deep and textured enough that when I glaze them, you're not going to notice that it hasn't been glazed. Like it's just going to, the shadows and the texture of it will highlight the mouth without me having to add any texture to it. I also decided that I was going to use another glaze that I've never used before from Chrysanthos. I've always wanted to use this glaze, and these are the volcano glazes. So the idea of the volcano glazes is they react in the kiln, and what happens is the glaze craters and bubbles, kind of similar to a moon crater or a moon surface or a planet or something like that. So I really wanted to try them out and see how they look on these pieces because it's just such a perfect week. I've had them sitting there for so long, I'm like, I don't know what to use them for yet, but the suns and moons were perfect. So I did a couple of those and I was pretty confident they were going to look really cool. I then glazed them all and I prepared some stilts. Now this week, I'm actually doing a hack that one of you suggested, and that was to try and eliminate those little black marks and the stilts from sort of sticking to the glaze after the glaze firing, where I'm sort of like snapping them off. You suggested to put some wax resist on the little stilt prongs, and this supposedly helps the piece remove from the stilt a lot better. I wax resist resisted all of those, and then I packed the kiln. Because the shapes of the suns and moons have the face on both sides, I am stilting them so that I can get the glaze fully over them, but it was so precarious trying to position them on stilts where they weren't like in a weird spot. I didn't want the prongs like in the eye because it would have just been weird. So it was really precarious placing them in the kiln. So I actually didn't put that many in the kiln at one time just because of how much space they took up, and I was so scared to knock them off their stilts. I actually put the volcano glaze ones in a separate kiln load. So we'll do this kiln load first, and then I'll open and react to the volcano glazes after this one. It's time to open the kiln. It has the suns and moons inside. I'm hoping the colors look vibrant but kitschy. I am also hoping that the stilts come off pretty unscathed because this is the first time I'm trying that wax resist method on the little stilt prongs. Let's open it up and have a look. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh. That worked so well. You can only just see the little spots, and with a little bit of a sand. Oh, thank you to whoever suggested that. I mean, that's just the first one, but that worked out amazing. Oh my gosh. They're just falling off. That is such a good trick. They're just falling off. Oh my gosh. Tried and tested. It works. It works. Oh, hang on. Nope, that one was fine as well. I'm not even reacting to the pieces because I'm so chuffed. I'm just so happy about this little hack. Oh my gosh. That is a game changer. It is so basic and I should have just known better, but awesome. The only annoying thing is now I don't have a pretty ASMR sound to take videos of, but definitely worth it for the minimal texture it's leaving on the pieces. Like purple. Oh, the purple is so 90s goth. I love it. Oh, the pink. Oh, the green. The green is cool. Very cool colors. I love them so much. They look really cool. It's going to be kind of sad to break them up. Oh my gosh, the way it doesn't even make a sound. Like, not a single sound. Oh, that one was the most attached so far. Amazing. As I mentioned before, here is packing the kiln with the volcano glaze pieces, so let's open that one up now. Alright, it is time to take the shelves off and have a look and see how that volcano glaze reacted, acted, played up, I don't know. And I am hoping that it looks like craters and looks really kind of like a planet or a moon crater, but if it doesn't, any texture is going to look amazing because of the way I'm constructing these sun catchers. No matter what, even if just a color, it's just going to look so good. Okay. They didn't act how I thought they were gonna act. They look a bit weird and I'm not sure if I'm happy with them. I think that the issue is I put some clear glaze on the eyes and it's kind of like interacted with the volcanic glaze and it's kind of given them, it looks like they've been punched out in the eye. It looks like they've got a black eye, but it's fine. They're still cute. So you can see that it looks like they've got a black eye just because of the reaction of the clear glaze next to the volcano glaze, which is just so strange. I guess the volcano glaze is meant to react. I just didn't think that they would interact with each other in that way. I think it needs another coat to get that really nice bubbling, but it has actually bubbled around the eyes at least, so that's a plus given that they didn't quite work the way I thought they would work. It's got a bit of a texture. It's just not as textured as I was hoping for. In fact, the eye texture is the closest to the texture that the sample looked. It does look volcano-y, It's just not as cratery as I thought it would be. I think I might give it another go and try a few extra coats. Maybe one extra coat might do it. All right, the yellow is very bright. It's a very bright yellow. Look, it's textury. You can see that texture. You can see that black eye. It looks like it's very sleepy. Oh my goodness. Oh no, that one ran. Oh, that one's good. That one's good, although that eye's not good. That eye is not good. The blue ones, I think, worked the best. Yeah, they didn't react as much with the clear glaze, I think, because it's closest to that color, but the other ones aren't as great. That one's okay again. It just looks like it's dirty. The yellow one looks like it's dirty and like it shouldn't be there and like you want to wipe it clean. I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Why did I do so many yellow ones? I trusted my instincts and I shouldn't have trusted them this time. This one's okay. The yellow ones just don't look good. I just don't like them. The blue ones, I'm happy with the blue ones. The blue ones are perfect. They are what I expected, but if anything, I would have loved just a bit more of the texture coming through. Like you can see that it's quite textured like sandpaper, but yeah, I would have liked a bit more like craters happening. That is terrible. It's either had a punch to the face or it's got a really bad case of conjunctivitis. I ended up refiring a bunch of them with another glaze on top, also some of the volcano glaze on top, and again, I absolutely hate them. I've never hated something so much. Yeah, these obviously did not go in the advent calendars. I kept some of the really nice, beautiful ones into the calendar, but I definitely did not put these in the calendars. I did put some of the volcano glazes in that looked really cool, and I thought that they felt really nice, but the rest, they got carded because they were... like all the holes and the texture, it wasn't giving, and I take back what I said that I was going to love them regardless, because I did not have any love for these. I'm so sorry. It was just such a big fail, and I was so confident that they were all going to work so well. Anyway, moving on to the construction of the rest of these pieces, and I promise there is a redemption arc in this story, is that these end up looking like the most amazing freaking artworks I have ever made. I'm so proud of these. So I got a collection of gemstones, some little crystals that I don't know what to call them. They're like little sun catcher beads where they like have the little faceted edges so that they reflect the light in all these shimmery, beautiful ways. And then I've also got these beaded chains. They're like a rosary bead chain, I guess is what you call them. And I'm constructing with some jump rings, attaching to that little canther wire, and just making really cool, funky combinations. This was actually so fun because I had all these amazing little components. It just made constructing so fun, and every single one ended up being these very unique, amazing, beautiful artworks. They were amazing. So for the top, I used a keyring holder thing. I don't know, I didn't know how to hang them. And I thought that this way it would work any way you wanted to put it. And it was quite strong and good. Whereas I couldn't think of anything else I would use to hang it. Like I feel like a hook might work, but at least this way you can put a hook on it. And you can also like put it over a nail and stuff. Yeah, I just thought it was a good idea, okay? Maybe you've got a better idea, but here is the finished results. The way these glistened and shimmered and sparkled in the sun. I did not want to give you guys these. I actually wanted to keep all of them, and I wanted to put them in my window and keep them forever. I actually kept one, the little blue moon on the right of this shot coming up. Oh my gosh, I kept it. It was so beautiful. I could not part ways with that one, but they were all just so stunning, and I just hope you like them because I am so obsessed. I just cannot get over the sparkly whimsy of it. I just can't get over how amazing these are. Oh my gosh. I did not expect them to ever look this pretty and amazing and gorgeous all at once. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. They just feel like happiness. I'm so
proud of how these turned out and how they look and how they glisten and capture the sun, and it just feels like sparkles everywhere. The sound is gorgeous as well. I don't know how I can top this piece. I honestly do not know. This is going to become a staple in what I make. I'm just so proud of them. Oh my gosh.
This was my dream piece and I am so happy I did it justice. It is just magic. It is amazing, incredible. I'm so happy. I'm definitely going to be making more of these. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Thank you again for watching another one of my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And here is a sneak peek for the next reveal.